All right, what's going on, guys? So, just haven't done one of these in a while, Backyard Chronicles. So I figured, hey, you know what? Let's get in some Backyard Chronicles today, right? Um, Now, been doing the morning market overviews every day over on the Patreon, and lately it's been like nothing really happening, not much going on. I mean, we have the Iran news, like the Strait of Hormuz, and what's going on with Trump in the U.S. Now, quick caveat there. There is starting to get some rumors. There are some rumors starting to float around about how people are suspecting that Trump at this point is starting to manipulate markets or has been manipulating markets, which is why he keeps bringing us close to a settlement in terms of peace with Iran and then pulling it back and then saying that we have peace, we're right there at the finish line, and then pulling it back. Because it's always Trump that does it. It's not Iran that's pulling out. He tries to make it sound like it. But like the latest pullback is because before Trump was saying that it was unacceptable that Iran set up a toll booth in the Strait of Hormuz. There's no way that they're going to make money off of that. And then we're ready at the finish line the other day, and then Trump comes out and says the U.S. Trump wants to put a toll booth there and make money off the Strait of Hormuz, knowing full well that they would say no, that's not going to happen, right? So in a sense, intentionally pulling the markets back down again. We've also seen that whenever he's coming out with some very bullish announcement, some mysterious figure seems to long the markets and make hundreds, well, maybe tens of millions of dollars minimum, right? And same thing when he's got bad news coming out, this mysterious wallet shorts the market and makes a ton of money, right? So it's starting to seem a lot like he's doing this stuff on purpose to make money. But kind of a risky game, whether it's true or not, who knows, right? It's all he said, she said. But anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about the markets, right? Now, we're entering a phase right now that's known as an accumulation phase, right? And they generally happen in bottom ranges, okay? Now, I'm not saying exactly we're at the bottom because you're not going to time the bottom. You have to try to find a range, right? Same thing with the top. You're not going to time the top. So you got to find a range. Now we're in a bottom range right now, in my opinion, especially on altcoins. So this again is what's known as an accumulation phase. If you're newer to crypto, now there are three types of people in this phase of the market, and we're starting to see a lot of them come to the forefront. Right, the first type of person, and this is starting to kick up a lot lately, right? Which is more of a confirmation metric. Is there's a lot of whining and complaining starting to kick up in the comment section of videos and over on X about price action, right? There'll be some bullish news, some bullish partnership on a project like Zebek or something like that. Or I'm talking about Ondo and some bullish news there. And there's always at least a couple people go, yeah, but there's no price action. It's all BS, right? Doesn't mean anything. So when those whiners and complainers start to come out, you know that it's kind of a bottom because that represents extreme pain or max pain. Not extreme pain, but max pain, right? The whiners and complainers when they start to come out. Because they don't understand what a bear market is, right? They don't understand that while some good partnership, some good news, some bullish catalyst might not send the project parabolic right now, it is setting the project up for a massive successful bull run throughout the course of this cycle, but they don't have the patience to wait for that, right? Those are the people who got into crypto and expected to get rich in a month or two, and they're not yet, so they're whining and complaining about it in the comment section instead of trying to understand how these markets actually work, right? They're too emotional, and they'll respond saying, I'm not emotional. Okay, but you certainly don't understand the market, so I don't know what you're doing then, right? If you don't understand the market and you're not emotional, why are you whining and complaining? So price action will come when we're not in a bear market anymore, right? People need to understand catalysts don't necessarily drive price. Liquidity does. You have to understand that. And when risk on appetite comes back to these markets, liquidity comes back in, that's where the market really starts to take off. And the projects that have set themselves up for success in terms of partnerships and catalysts and developments and all this kind of stuff, those are the ones who do really, really well. That's why they're relevant now, not because they're going to make you rich right now, right? But some people don't understand that. So you have those people, and they are, again, kind of a bottom metric. Now, the second type of person in the accumulation phase of a bottom of a bear market is a little bit different. They don't whine, they don't complain, none of that stuff. In fact, they're mostly excited, right? However, they're still doing things incorrectly because those people are waiting for lower prices before they start to DCA or whatever the case might be, right? Now we saw the most recent example of this in 2022 when Bitcoin was about $15,700 roughly, right? We saw a lot of the largest YouTubers out there when it comes to crypto calling for a $9,000 Bitcoin and telling everybody to sell off what they have and buy back in at lower prices, or to just hold on to their dry powder and wait for lower prices, right? And a lot of people did that, and they all missed the bottom, all of them, right? They had to start buying in at 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 and higher. They missed it because they were waiting for lower prices. While you have the right idea, trying to time the bottom, it'll never work out, right? It'll never work out. Third type of person, the final type of person like myself. They're dollar cost averaging right now because they understand what an accumulation phase is. The key word is accumulate, right? So they spend this time dollar cost averaging. If the price goes down a little bit lower, then they lower their cost average and buy more, right? They just continue to be consistent and patient. They're not emotional. They're not angry. They're not whining or complaining about price. In fact, most of them are very, very excited that they get to buy their favorite projects at these prices. So, and I see it all the time in the comments, whether it's over on the Patreon or on X or on YouTube. They want prices to stay like this as long as possible so that they can fill up their bags, because they understand that the more they're able to fill their bags now and over the course of the next 6 to 8 months, the more successful they're going to be in terms of ROI in the peak of this cycle, in the top range of this cycle, right? So they're filling their bags and they're enjoying every single minute of it, right? So that again is what an accumulation phase is for. However, most people miss it, right? The majority of people miss it for a variety of reasons. Waiting for bottoms, waiting for lower prices. They're emotional and they're pissed off and they're spending all of their time whining and complaining instead of learning the markets and dollar cost averaging and building their bags, building their positions, being strategic about it, right? Instead, they're just whining and then saying that they're not emotional. So, but I would like to say, no matter which one you are, to a degree, you will be more successful than everyone who left crypto after it peaked at the end of 2025. So everyone who's been in this bear market so far and is still DCing or whining or whatever it is that you're doing, you're still here. And that is at least better than the people who abandoned ship and left crypto and will come back when it starts going parabolic again, because they'll be buying in at higher prices, right? So they're the least advantaged out of everybody. So again, emotions can sink your ship when it comes to this space, guys. So what you have to decide is which person are you? Which type of person are you in this cycle? Let me know in the comment section. Are you a whiner and a complainer? Let me know by whining and complaining. Are you a dollar cost average, build your position type of person? Or are you waiting for lower prices? Let me know down below, guys, in the comment section. I'd be interested to know how many are listening per category of person, so to speak. So, yeah, let me know. But anyway, that is it for this one. I will see you guys in the next one. God bless.